जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत महाराज स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई जमुना माई की सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Gaur Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from 10th Canto, chapter 73. The chapter is entitled Lord Kṛṣṇa blesses the liberated kings. We have from text 21 to 35, but there is no purport in any of them. So we will narrate text 21. Bhavanta etad vigyaya dehadyuta padya mantavad Mam yajanto adhvarai yukta praja dharmena rakshyatha bhavanta etad vigyaya देहाद्युत्पाद्यमन्तवत् मां यजन्तो अध्वरैर्युक्ता प्रजा धर्मेण रक्ष्यथ भवन्त एतद्विज्ञाय देहाद्युत्पाद्यमन्तवत् मां यजन्तो अध्वरैर्युक्ता प्रजा धर्मेण रक्ष्यथ भवन्त एतद्विज्ञाय देहाद्युत्पाद्यमन्तवत् प्रजाधर्मेण रक्षता भवन्त एतद्विज्ञाय देहाद्युत्पाद्यमन्तवत् मां यजन्तो अध्वरैर्युक्ता प्रजा धर्मेण रक्ष्यथ भवन्त एतद्विज्ञाय देहाद्युत्पाद्यमन्तवत् मां यजन्तो अध्वरैर्युक्ता प्रजा धर्मेण रक्षथ। माताजी भवन्त एतद्विज्ञाय देहाद्युत्पाद्यमन्तवत् मां यजन्तो अध्वरैर्युक्ता प्रजा धर्मेण रक्षथ भवन्त एतद्विज्ञाय देहाद्युत्पाद्यमन्तवत् मां यजन्तो अध्वरैर्युक्ता प्रजा धर्मेण रक्षथ। Word to word meaning. Bhavantah, you, etat, this, vigyaya, understanding, deha adi, the material body and so forth, utpadyam, subject to birth, antavat, having an end, mam, me, yajantah, worshipping, advaraihi, with Vedic sacrifices, yuktaha, having clear intelligence, prajaha, your citizens, dharmena, according to the religious principles, rakshyatha, you should protect. Translation. Understanding that this material body and everything connected with it have a beginning and an end. Worship me by Vedic sacrifices and with clear intelligence protect your citizens in accordance with the principles of religion. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. He Shri Sanatana Prabhu Karunambarashe He Rupa Durgat Janaik Dayavaloka He Bhatta Yugma Sumate Raghunath Dasa Shri Jiva Me Kurut Mandamater Dayantarad Yat Kirtanam Yasmaranam Yadikshanam यद्वन्दनं यच्छ्रवणं यदर्हणं लोकस्य सद्यो विधुनोति कल्मषं तस्मै सुभद्राश्रवसे नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। यो अन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरा स्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। हृदयस्य प्रेरणया प्रवर्तितोऽहं वराकरूपोऽपि तस्य हरे पदकमलं वन्दे श्रीचैतन्यदेवस्य। Hare Krishna. So you must be familiar with the pastime which is going on. Lord Kṛṣṇa blesses the liberated kings. So all of you know the pastime that Magadendra, Jarasandha, he has captured around 20,000, more than 20,000 kings, 20,800, 700, 800 kings. And in order to sacrifice for Kal Bhairav. And these kings, they are in very precarious situations. They were once the kings and now they are captured in the prison house of Jarasandha. So they were practically starving, not having enough food and water and having practically no facilities. And once they were the kings, so they were undergoing a great emotional trauma. And in the midst of all this, they remembered Krishna. This was their great fortune. Actually, there are many people who are distressed in this world, but there are very few who in that distress come to Krishna. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna calls them Sukrit. Chaturveda bhajante man jana sukritino arjuna arto artharthi jigyasu Jnani cha bhartarshava. That these four people, they are Sukrit because in their distress, in condition or in the want of money, wealth, in order to get Jnana, knowledge, they come to me, they come to my shelter. So they are very fortunate. So fortunate are these kings because they approached Krishna, they took shelter of Krishna and they sent one messenger to Krishna. And this messenger told all of their plight amongst the Yadavas in the assembly of Krishna. So many things they mentioned there in that letter, and one thing that they mentioned that actually the miseries that we are facing is because of our own bad deeds. This is the nature of the devotees. Whenever some problem comes in their life, they think that it is because of my own karma that I am facing such difficulties. Brahma ji prays like that. Atmakritam vipakam. That tatte-anukampam susamikshmana bhunjan evatmakritam vipakam. That I am eating what I have only cooked. I am eating the results of I am reaping the results of my own karma. So this is the nature of the devotees. And they told like that. And they also told that you have come or you have incarnated into this material world in order to protect the devotees and to kill the miscreants and establish dharma. Now this Jarasandha is very great demon and a great miscreant who is creating havoc all over the world. So please deliver this Jarasandha. And also deliver us from the prison of Jarasandha. And not only deliver us from the prison of Jarasandha, also deliver us from the prison of this material world. They prayed like that. And Gajendra also prays like that. Jiji vishena hami hamuyakim antarvahishcha vritaye bhayonya ichchami kalena nayasya viplava tasyatmaloka varanasya moksham That Gajendra is praying that, "Oh Lord, I do not anymore. So not only free me from this clutches of this crocodile, also free me from the clutches of this material world. I am covered internally by ignorance and externally by this body of this elephant. The nature of this ignorance is that everything is destroyed by time except this ignorance. Time destroys everything material except this material desires. So please cut this knot of ignorance." Gajendra is praying like that. Similarly, these kings also prayed like this: not only free us from the clutches of Jarasandha, also free us from the clutches of this material world. So when all the Yadavas heard this, they were very enthusiastic to fight. The Kshatriyas, they are very enthusiastic to fight. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Sukhina Kshatriya Partha labhante yuddham idrisham." Fortunate are those Kshatriyas who get an opportunity to fight such a battle. So Kshatriyas, they are very enthusiastic to fight. So Yadavas were also very enthusiastic. But in the meantime, Narad Muni arrived on the scene with a message from Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira that he is going to conduct a Rajasuya sacrifice and was inviting Krishna to that sacrifice. So there was a predicament in front of Krishna that where to go, whether to go to the Rajasuya sacrifice or to go to deliver these kings, where to go. So he took the counsel advice of Uddhava. Uddhav actually is devotee and he wanted to glorify Uddhav. Lord is all powerful, he is omniscient, he knows everything, what to do, what not to do. But in that situation he took counsel of Uddhava. So Uddhav started explaining that actually the Jarasandha is very mighty, very powerful, and he has a huge army. All the Yadavas together they won't be able to defeat the army of Jarasandha. He could only be defeated in one-to-one combat. And not only that, Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj wants to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. This Rajasuya sacrifice cannot be performed unless one attains sovereignty over the entire world. He wins over all the directions, and in all the directions, all the kings, they accept Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj as their ruler, but only this Jarasandha. So first this Jarasandha has to be killed, then only Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj has to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. So he gave that idea of one-on-one fight with Bhima, like that. So Krishna went along with Bhima and Arjun and delivered Jarasandha, and after that Krishna went into the prison of Jarasandha, where these 20,800 kings, they were imprisoned by Jarasandha, and their condition was very pitiable. Once they were the kings, you can very well understand that one who is habituated to get a lot of honor and respect from everyone, and he has all the facilities in life, everything is there at his beck and call, and now they are put into this cave, into the prison of Jarasandha, and they have practically no facilities, not only sumptuous food and water, no proper sewage facilities there, and all the kingly attires and ornaments have been taken away, and they have been put in racks practically that have been not washed for many months. So such was their condition. There was utter bewilderment, and they were harassed and tortured with the fear that at any moment they will be killed by Jarasandha. So this was their situation, but now all of a sudden here they are face to face with the Supreme Lord, and they started offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. Very beautiful prayers they are offering. They said that actually we were in delusion when we were thinking that we are the controllers, we are the kings, we have so many subjects. Actually you are the Supreme Lord, and they started glorifying the Supreme Lord. Lord Kṛṣṇa accepted their prayers, and very graciously he said that yes, actually whatever you have said is true. So today he is instructing these kings. We have 21, 22, 23. These three shlokas describe that what instruction Krishna gave to these kings. Krishna says that always you should remember me. In the gist is that you should always remember me. So 21 number shlok which we read just now, it says Bhavanta etad vigyaya dehadyuta padyam antavat utpadyam antavat deh adi. Understand that this material body and everything connected with it have a beginning and an end, and worship me by Vedic sacrifices with clear intelligence. Protect your citizens in the accordance with the principles of religion. So here Krishna is revealing the naked reality of the entire material world. whatever message he gave in the Bhagavad Gita through the 700 shlokas, he is giving the gist in 3 shlokas. He is telling that actually everything in this material world is temporary. It has a beginning, it has an end. And that is why there is misery in this material world. Whenever we hear the word misery, we connect the word misery to the common miseries which we face in this material world. For example, loss of wealth, loss of honor, loss of spouse, so on and so forth. But in the terms of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, in the words of the Acharyas, the word misery means connection to anything temporary. That is called as misery. Prahlād Maharaj says, Tat sadhu varre asurvarya dehinam sada asamudvigna dhyāt asad-grahat. Asad-grahat, because of capturing, because of taking shelter of asat. Asat, that is temporary. One is sada samudvigna dhyāt. His intelligence is always samudvigna. His intelligence is always bewildered because he wants to capture on something that is ought to be taken away. That must be taken away. It will go away. It is called asat, temporary. So everything in this world is temporary. It will be taken away. Only it's just a matter of time. If we try to hold on to the things of this material world, be it wealth, be it honor, prestige, accolades, credentials, we will be frustrated, we will be baffled in a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. So if we are attached to things of this, it will lead to misery because they will be taken away. Sada samudvigna dhyāt asad grahat. So everything in this material world, they have an beginning, they have an end. And when one gets attached to it, it leads to misery. Everything includes this material body also. This material body is also temporary. Everything in this world has a shelf life. It has an expiry period. You purchase a medicine, it will expire. Date is written, May 2026, it will get expired. But there is no expiry date of this material body. It can expire at any time. Any time it can go away. So because of that, this is called intelligence. This is called clear intelligence. Krishna is saying, worship me by Vedic sacrifice and with clear intelligence protect your subjects in accordance with the principles of religion. That with clear intelligence means understanding, really understanding that everything in this world is temporary. And this is called Divya Gyan. It comes by the mercy of the Lord and the Acharyas, by the mercy of the devotees. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. One is the bookish knowledge, that we are reading something, we have heard it from somebody, or we may repeat it also in the class, but we may not be able to understand it. This understanding comes by the mercy of the Acharyas, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, by the mercy of the Lord. And by this clear intelligence, Krishna is telling, protect your subjects in accordance with the principles of dharma. Praja dharmed rakshata. Protect your citizens by dharma. So it's very interesting that Krishna is giving them darshan, and Krishna could have said that all of you now only do the Bhagavad Dharma. Now you retire from your family life and go to the Himalayas and only do the Bhagavad Dharma. But here Krishna is telling all these kings to go back to their kingdom and do ruling. Rule your subjects. Praja dharmena rakshata, by the dharma. Why? Because Krishna wants his devotees to become the kings. You see, Krishna made all the Pandavas to fight on the battlefield of Kurukshetra because he wanted Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj to become the king. He did not want Duryodhan to become the king. Why? Because when king is doing bhakti, when king is promoting bhakti, promoting dharma, then it's very easy for the Bhagavad Dharma to propagate in this world. We see, whenever there is a propagation of any spiritual movement, there was the collaboration between the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas, between the intellectual class and the ruling class. It is very much necessary. Unless this is there, it cannot happen. The propagation cannot happen. That is why in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajrashya vido sakale neh mahata yogo nashta parantapa. That this message of Bhagavad Gita was given to the Rajrishis in parampara. The Rajrishis were having this knowledge. Unless they have this knowledge, they cannot propagate that knowledge. They cannot understand the importance of this knowledge. History has been the proof Buddhism has spread. Why? Because there was a collaboration between the kingly order and the Brahmanas. And the kingly order became very favorable. Even Christianity was once subjugated by the Roman Empire, but once it became the official religion, it started spreading. The same was true with the beliefs of communism when Lenin and Stalin started propagating. Even we see in the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Prataprudra Maharaj was very favorable to the Vaishnavas, the Vaishnavism spread. Correct, right? So this is the principle. When the kings, they understand dharma, they themselves follow the dharma, they are the protectors of dharma, then the Bhagavad dharma can spread. That is why Krishna wants his devotees to become the king. So he is sending his devotees, these kings, that you go and rule your subjects by dharma. Then he says, text 22, Santavantah prajatantun Sukham dukkham bhava bhava praptam cha sevanto Macchitta vicharishyatha. As you live your lives, begetting generations of progeny and encountering happiness and distress, birth and death, always keep your minds fixed on me. So this is very important. Here Krishna is telling that always fix your mind on me. No matter what you do in your life, no matter what is the situation, always remember me, always fix your mind on me. So here Krishna is teaching resilience, that you have to become resilient in your consciousness. See, in this world there are things which are called resilient. For example, we have a resilient iron which never gets rusted. And no matter in what type of weather condition you put, it will not get rusted. This is called resilient iron. We have a resilient wood, and waterproof wood. No matter how much water falls on it, it will not get degraded. We have termite-free wood. No matter how much bad condition it is put, the termites won't be able to corrode that wood. It is termite-proof. We have shock-proof mobiles. That if they fall even from first floor, they will not break. They are resilient. So resilient means no matter what is the condition, what is the situation, they sustain through that condition. This is the definition of resilience. So Krishna here is telling that you have to be resilient in your consciousness. No matter whatever changes are happening in your life, you have to always remember me. So how one can become resilient? By remembering Krishna. Always fix your minds on me. So this is what Krishna is telling. So here Krishna is telling what you have to do and what you have to not do. In 21st he has told that what you don't have to do. Protect yourself from the material temporary things of this world. What you don't have to do. And this verse he is telling what you have to do. And what is the result of both of this? He is telling in the next verse. What you should do, what you should not do, the result is that you will attain me. Text 23. Udasinasya dehado Atma Rama Dhritavrata Maya Vesha Manasamya Mamante Brahmayasyatha. Be detached from the body and everything connected to it, remaining self-satisfied, steadfastly. Keep your vows while concentrating your minds fully on me. In this way, you will ultimately attain me, the supreme absolute truth. So the result is that if you do all these things, whatever is said, and then you will attain me. The main thing in this verse is Mai aveshya manah samyak. Always absorb your mind in me. This is the sum and substance of Bhagavad Gita actually. Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So manmana, always absorb your mind in me. Here also, maya aveshya manah samyak. Always absorb your mind in me. If you do that, then mam yasyate. You will, at the end of your life, you will attain me, the supreme absolute truth. So here in these three verses, Krishna is telling all the kings that actually you are kings, so you have to fight and win the battles. You have to fight and win the battle. But this battle is not only external, it is internal also. When we hear the term battle, the external battles come in our mind. The battle of Panipat or some other battle. Nowadays also many battles are going on. Battle between Russia and Ukraine. Battle between Israel and Hamas. So many battles are going on. So these battles come in our mind. But Krishna is telling that all of you not only have to fight the external battles as kings and win those battles, but also you have to fight the internal battle. In short, he is telling you have to fight the internal battle. What is the internal battle? Internal battle means conquering the lower self by the higher self. Once upon a time, one king was roaming in the forest and he came across a hermitage. He entered into that hermitage and there was a sage who was doing meditation there. When the king entered, the sage opened his eyes and the king asked the sage, who was sitting in his hermitage that was practically empty. Nothing was there in that, with bare necessities of life. So he asked that sage that, who are you? The sage replied, I am the king. Then king laughed and he said, oh, you are the king. Then where is your kingdom? The sage replied, Iha yasya harer dasya karmana manasa gira nikhilasu api avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. That he said that actually with my body, mind and words, and I am always engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So actually I am living here, but my mind is absorbed in the spiritual kingdom. So that spiritual world, that is my kingdom. That is that is my kingdom. The king said, okay, that is your kingdom. Then where is your army? Then the sage replied, Titikshava karunikaha suhrada sarvadehinam ajata shatrava shanta sadhava sadhu bhushana. I am ajata shatru. I haven't created any enemy, so I don't need any army. The king said, okay, but where is your treasury? If you are a king, where is your treasury? He said, Santushtam paramam yogi. This satisfaction, that is my treasury. One may be a king, he may be having a lot of wealth and riches, but the actual king is one who is satisfied with whatever comes on its own accord. So the sage said, in this way I am the king. The king, he came and offered obeisances to the sage and replied and actually realized that whatever I am looking for in the material world, whatever things I take pride in, it simply reflects a vacuum that is there in my heart. I take pride in my kingdom because I am not connected to the spiritual kingdom. I take pride in the wealth because I do not realize that there is a vacuum, there is a want of desires that is there within the heart. I am proud of my army, but I do not realize by army because I have created so many enemies. So you see, all of us are also like this. We also have to fight a battle. It is an internal battle. It is the battle within our heart, battle with our consciousness, battle to lift ourselves. Like Arjun had to fight the battle, we also have to fight a battle. It's symbolic. Madhvacharya explains that the scriptures has to be seen at three levels. At one level, we have to see it at literal level. That Arjun fought the battle of Kurukshetra, so literally it is true. At another level, we have to see it at an ethical level, didactic level. We have to deduce some lessons from that. So this is one level. Another level is metaphorical level. Just like Arjun was a warrior, we also are the warriors. We also have to fight at the level of our consciousness. We have to fight our lower natures. We have to fight off the desire to enjoy the things of this material world. We have to fight off the disconnection from Krishna. We have to fight off the ignorance that is prevailing within our heart. We have to fight off the lower nature with the higher nature. We have to fight off the demoniac nature with the divine nature. Asuri sampatti, Devi sampatti, which Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. All of us have a demon and a divine nature within us. When in the Satyuga, the demons and the devatas, they were living on different planets. When the yuga changed, the time changed, Treta Yuga came, They started living on the same planet, but on different continents, India and Lanka. Ram used to live in India and Ravan used to live in Lanka. Different continents. When time changed in the Dwapar Yuga, they lived in the same country, India, but in different houses, Pandavas and the Kauravas. When the time changed, Kali Yuga, they are living within the same body, within the same person. That these divine qualities and demoniac qualities, they are residing. And always there is a tussle between these qualities, the divine qualities and the demoniac qualities. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, do not allow the demoniac qualities to overpower the divine qualities. Uddharet atmana atmanam na atmanam avsadayet. Atmana, by your purified mind, by the divine qualities, do not allow yourself to be degraded. Do not allow this demoniac qualities to overpower your divine qualities. Uddharet atmana atma, na atmanam avsadayet. Do not allow yourself to fall into the demoniac qualities. So always there is a fight that is going on between the divine qualities and the demoniac qualities. Now who is going to win in this battle, this internal battle? It depends upon which qualities are more strong. If the divine qualities are more strong than the demoniac qualities, then the divine qualities will overpower, and vice versa. If the demonic qualities are more powerful, they will overpower. Now, what decides the strength of these qualities? It depends upon which quality is getting more food, which quality is being fed more. If the divine qualities are getting more food, they will become more strong and they will overpower the demonic qualities, and vice versa. Now, what is the food for these qualities? The food for these qualities is the time, is the consciousness that we are investing in this. The more time, the more consciousness we give to any of these qualities, that quality will become strong. That will overpower the another qualities. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti viprama smriti branchat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. That dhyayato vishayan pumsa, when one contemplates on the object of senses, when one contemplates on this object, sense objects, then sangas upjayate. Sangha means asakti, attachment. Attachment means that object, sense object starts appealing to ourselves. It appears nice. That is called asakti, attachment. Our mind gets caught up in that. When one gets attached to the sense objects, then one gets a desire to have that sense objects. This is called kama. When one gets kama, and that calm, when it gets frustrated, which is sure, all the desires in this material are sure to get frustrated, then there is krodha, anger. When there is anger, then there is sammoha, delusion. And when there is delusion, then smriti bhrancha, the memory is lost. And when the memory is lost, then the intelligence is bewildered, buddhinasha. And buddhinashat pranishyati, one again falls into this material pool. So this is about mind, thinking from the mind. So mind is one faculty. Similarly, we have the faculty of body, we have the faculty of speech. So the more we engage this mind, body and speech into any of these respective qualities, divine or demoniac, we are actually feeding that qualities. And the more we feed, it becomes strong. And when it becomes strong, it overpowers the other qualities. So that is why, as a devotee, it's very important for all of us to engage these faculties of body, mind and words in the service of the Supreme Lord. The devotees, the pure devotees, they have learned this art of engaging their consciousness, their time into the Supreme Lord. No matter what is the situation, they will always engage their body, mind and words into the service of the Supreme Lord. In the 11th Canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, when the characteristics of the pure devotees is described, there one shloka comes that says, Tribhuvan vibhav hetave api akuntha smriti ajitatma suratma bhi na bhagavad padar vindat lav nimeshadham api yah sa vaishnavagraha. Who is a Vaishnavagraha? Who is the greatest Vaishnava? That you give him Tribhuvan Vibhava, you give him all the opulences, riches of the three worlds, and say to him that you only forget the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, but for half a moment. For half a moment, you forget the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and you will get the opulences of the three worlds. You will say, no, I don't want. He is called Vaishnavagraha. If somebody says to us that you have this proposal, we will say, what to say of half a moment? We will forget Krishna for years. Just make us the Prime Minister of India. Forget about three words. But the Vaishnavagraha, the greatest Vaishnava is who never, even for a half a moment, forgets the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And this is the art that these great Vaishnavas have learned, and that is why they are fearless in any situation, no matter what. Prahlad Maharaj says, Naivoduje paraduratyaya taranya Tvadviragayan mahamriga magna chitta Shochetato vimukhachetas indriyartha Maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan. He says, I am not at all fearful of this material existence. Why? Tvadviragayan mahamrit magna chitta. I am singing your glories, and by the nectar that I am getting by hearing your glories, my mind is fully absorbed in those glories. And that is why I do not fear this material world, but I am only fearful of the people of this material world who are forgetting you and they are engaging into worldly activities, forgetting your lotus feet. So the great devotees, they have learned this art of engaging their body, mind and words in the service of the Supreme Lord, and this is what all of us should aspire. The more we engage our mind, body and words in the service of Supreme Lord, the more our consciousness gets dovetailed towards Supreme Lord. And this, at last, it will decide our destination also. So this battle is going on at every moment within ourselves. At every moment we have a choice, whether to invest our consciousness in the service of the Supreme Lord or to invest our consciousness into the Maya. We have a choice, and based on that choice, our consciousness gets shaped, and based on that, our destination gets shaped. So every moment there is this battle that is going on within ourselves. And what is the result? It depends upon us, what choice we make. So even if we are not able to make right choice, but we must be aware that I have to make the right choice and pray to Krishna for this. Dhritarashtra Maharaj, he prays very nicely. Aham hareta padaikamula dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuyah manasmaret ashupater gunamste granitava karma karotu kayah. O Lord, when will I again become the servant of your eternal servants who are absorbed in the thought of your lotus feet? When will I again think my mind will always be absorbed in the thoughts of your transcendental attributes? O Lord of my life, when will that day come again? When will my body absorb in your activities, and with my words I will glorify your transcendental attributes? So this is the prayer that Dhritarashtra Maharaj is making. We may be incapable of doing so at the current moment, but if we depend on the mercy of the Supreme Lord, this mercy of the Supreme Lord is so great that it can make the impossible possible. It can turn the tables around. Take shelter of the holy name and depend upon the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And by that we will get the power, we will get the encouragement, we will get the strength to engage our body, mind and words in the service of the Supreme Lord, and we will be able to capture our lower nature. So this is one part. The next part is so equally interesting. Here Shukdev Goswami is describing how Lord reciprocated with his devotees. All those 20,800 kings, they were emaciated, so Krishna fed them, and they were bathed. We'll see this. Let's read this. Shri Shuka uvāca इत्यादिश्य नृपान् कृष्णो भगवान् भुवनेश्वरः तेषां न्ययुङ्क्त पुरुषान् striyo majjan karmani. Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus instructed the kings, the Lord Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Master of all the world, engaged male and female servants in bathing and grooming them. So Lord is engaging all the servants in bathing and grooming them. This is how Lord is affectionate to His devotees. Although He is Bhuvaneshwara, He is Bhagavan, He is Bhuvaneshwara, He is the master of all the demigods, all the great demigods like Brahmaji and Lord Shiva, but still He is so affectionate to His devotees that He is personally seeing that all His devotees, these kings, they are bathed and groomed like that. Saparyam karayamasa saha devena bharata naradevo chitair vastrair bhushanai shragvilepanai. O descendant of Bharata, the Lord then had King Sahadev honor them with the offerings of clothing, jewelry, garlands, sandalwood paste, all suitable for royalty. So he is addressing, Sukadeva Goswami addressing Parikshit Maharaj as Bharata. Jiva Goswami says the term Bharata, it reflects the Bhakta Vatsalyata, how Lord is affectionate to His devotees, because He was very affectionate, Lord was very affectionate to the Pandavas. They were all Bharata, descendants of Bharata. So this term reflects that, Bharata. Then, Bhojayitva varanyena susnatan samalankritan Bhogaisya vividhair yuktan Tambuladyair ripochitaihi. After they had been properly bathed and adorned, Lord Kṛṣṇa saw to it that they dined on excellent food. He also presented them with various items befitting the pleasure of kings, such as betel nuts. So they were fed very nicely. Te pujita mukundena rajano mrishta kundalaha virejur mochita kleshat pravrit ante yatha griha. Honored by Lord Mukunda and freed from tribulation, the kings shone splendidly, their earrings gleaming just as the moon and other celestial bodies shine brilliantly in the sky at the end of the rainy season. So Lord is called as Mukunda. Mukunda is one who gives liberation. Here he liberated the kings from the clutches of Jarasandha. So Lord here is called as Mukunda. And all the kings, they were Nishta Kundala. Their earrings, they shine very brilliantly. So earring is just an uplakshan. Uplakshan means it's just a symbolic thing. Means it also represents other ornaments. They are not just wearing earrings. Other ornaments also they are wearing. And those ornaments, they are also shining. Radhan sadashvan aropya mani kañcana bhushitan prenṇaya sunritair vakyai swadeshan pratyayapayat. Then the Lord arranged for the kings to be seated on chariots drawn by fine horses and adorned with jewels and gold, and pleasing them with gracious word, He sent them off to their own kingdoms. So He pleased them with the gracious words. Jiva Goswami writes, the gracious words were, Lord said to those kings that I am yours and you are mine. All of you are my devotees. I love you very much. Now all of you should come in the Rajsui sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira. There again we will meet. So like these loving words Krishna said to those kings, that all of you are my devotees, you are mine, I am yours. He sent them off to their own kingdoms. Ta evam mochita krichrat Krishnena sumahatmana yayustameva dhyayantaha Kirtani cha jagatpate Thus liberated from all the difficulty by Krishna, the greatest of the personality, the kings departed, and as they went, they thought only of him, the Lord of universe, and of his wonderful deeds. Jagatpate Kritani. Krishna is addressed as Jagatpati and Sumahatma. Two words are there. Sumahatmana, Jagatpate. Jagatpati means Lord of the universe. Su Maha Atma. Atma means Swabhav, nature, behavior. Su means very beautiful, and Maha means very great. So that Lord who is the Jagatpati, although he is the Lord of universe, but he loves his devotee so much that he is Sumahatma. His behavior is very nice, very pleasing, and it's very great. Although he is the Lord of universe, he came to protect his devotees. So Sumahatma. And the kings, they were thinking of the activities of the Supreme Lord. So here they are engaging their minds in the service of the Supreme Lord. Next we will see how they are engaging their words, how they are engaging their activities in the service of Supreme Lord. Next verse tells that. Jagadu prakrtibhyaste mahapurusha cheshtitam yathanvashasat bhagavan tatah chakra atandrita. The king told their ministers and their associates what the personality of Godhead had done, and they diligently carried out the orders he had imparted to them. So they were very happy, these kings. And it's the nature of happiness, that happiness wants to reveal itself. That whatever is there within the heart wants to reveal. So they were very happy, or they were filled with the Supreme Lord. And because of their love, they were describing the activities of the Supreme Lord to all the ministers. Mahapurusha cheshtitam. And whatever the Lord had told them, whatever the Lord has ordered them, they exactly atandrita, diligently, without any laziness, they followed the orders of the Supreme Lord. So earlier they were engaging their minds, thinking about his wonderful activities. They are engaging their words by telling about their ministers, telling about the activities of the Lord to their ministers, and now they are engaging their activities, their bodies in the service of Supreme Lord by exactly doing whatever the Lord has said. So they are engaging their body, mind and words in the service of Supreme Lord. So this is the key actually. Wherever you see people are fearless, people are engaged in the service of Supreme Lord, they are engaging their body, mind and words. These three are the main faculty that all of us are having. Here it is told by the example of these kings. Jarasandam ghatayitva Bhimasenena Keśavah Parthabhyam sanyuta prayat Sahadevena pujitah. Having arranged for Bhimasena to kill Jarasandha, Lord Keśava accepted worship from the king Sahadev and then departed with the two sons of Pritha. So this Sahadev is the son of Jarasandha. Lord accepted worship from the son of Jarasandha, Sahadeva. Lord is addressed here as Keśava. Ji Goswami says Keśava means he displayed his four-ended forms to show that he is the origin of all. He is the supreme personality of God. Keśava. Gatva te khandava prastham shankhan dadmuh jitarayah harshayanta svasvrdo durhidam cha sugavah. When they arrived at Indraprastha, the victorious heroes blew their conches, bringing joy to their well-wishing friends and sorrow to their enemies. So enemies were like Duryodhana and all this, Duryodhana and party. And the friends were Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj and all others. Tachrutva prita manasaha Indraprastha nivasinaha Menire magadam shantam Raja chapta manoratha The residents of Indraprastha were very pleased to hear that sound, for they understood that now the king of Magadha had been put to rest. King Yudhiṣṭhira felt that his desires were now fulfilled. Abhivandhyadharajanam Bhimarjuna Janardana Sarvam Ashravayam Chakruhu Atmana Yadanushtitam. Bhim, Arjun and Janardhan offered their respects to the king and informed him fully about what they had done. So when Krishna and Bhim and Arjun went back to Indraprastha, first Krishna put forward Bhim and then he has put forward Arjun and then he himself went. Imagine somebody's Indian team has won the World Cup, for example, and they are coming. So the person who comes first, he is getting the most credit, correct? So Krishna himself doesn't want to go first because he wants to glorify his devotees. If he goes first, everybody is saying Krishna has killed Jarasandha. So first he is sending Bhima, then he is sending Arjun, and at last he is going. This is the sequence. So the sequence is Bhima, Arjun, Janardana. Janardana means Krishna. Janan ardayati iti Janardana. One who kills the demons, he is called Janardana. So first he sent Bhim, so that Bhim is glorified. Then he sent Arjun, then he himself went. This is the nature of the Lord. He wants to glorify his devotees. The devotees want to glorify the Lord and Lord wants to glorify his devotees. When Srila Prabhupada was asked that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could have propagated this Krishna consciousness in the entire Western audience, why he did not do? Prabhupada said he left that credit to me. He wanted to glorify me. So, like that. Niśamya dharma-rājas keśavenānukampitam ānandāśru-kalāṁ muñcan premṇā novāca kiñcana. Upon hearing their account of great favor, Lord Keśava had mercifully shown him, King Dharmarāja shed tears of ecstasy. He felt such love that he could not say anything. Because of love, his throat choked, he could not say anything, and he started shedding tears. So he is called as Dharmarāja. Ji Goswami says, he is the Raja, king of Bhagavad Dharma. So because he knows how to do bhakti, so he is called Dharmarāja. And because of the love, his voice choked, he could not say anything. And he started crying. Thus ends this chapter. Hare Krishna. Any comments?
That speaker doesn't like me. No, it's very impressive and very clearly explained by Prabhupada to reveal the Leela, Krishna's Leela. So we're very fortunate to be able to hear that here together in Krishna Balaram Mandir. Just by having Krishna's Leela being recited in association of devotees, I feel everyone feels very inspired. Just a comment.
Actually, it is the nature of devotees together and recite the Leela of the Supreme Lord. It's very purifying.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thanks for the wonderful class. Prabhu, sometimes in my mind it comes like Krishna has put us in this world, giving all sorts of like beautiful things and these things, that an attachment naturally comes up. So, is it a kind of a test that Krishna has put us as like, yes, you have to come across all this, then only you can come back to me? Can you please?
Yeah, you can say it. In one sense, it is a kind of test, but more thing is, it is ignorance. It is our ignorance. When we get attached to the things, or when we are getting attracted to the things of this world, it is because of our ignorance. Obviously, it is a test because Krishna or Maya Devi does not want insincere people to go towards Krishna. Because if, for example, in our conditioned stage we attain Krishna, what we will do is engage Krishna in our own service. So yes, you can say in one sense it is a test, but the main reason is because of our ignorance. We are getting attracted to the things of world. And what is the way is to engage our senses in the service of the Supreme Lord. beginning with our tongue. We take shelter of the holy name of the Supreme Lord and depend upon the mercy of the Supreme Lord. No matter what is the situation, we have got at least little freedom. Whatever little freedom we have, we use that in the service of the Supreme Lord. When we use that, Krishna gives us more freedom. We become more free. Then when we use that freedom, we become even more free. Like that it increases. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Hitaye Gaur Premanande.